Hello guys, welcome to the Naked Culers episode 3. We are missing someone tonight. Imam has unfortunately died. It's a very sad case. He drowned in a swimming pool 4 feet deep. And in his place, we have Dr. Police for the moment. Please say hi to him. And there is always Harsh and I'm Sanmay. So let's start with the discussion. We had a great weekend. The last match against Antwerp and then an amazing comeback against Celta Vigo.
Let's discuss Celta Vigo first, the last game. What did you guys think of it? Those final 10 minutes, brilliance from Lewandowski, scoring those 2 goals, and then obviously the winner from Cancelo.
The match was very complicated because it was up and down. We were struggling the entire match. Celta Vigo was dominating us. Iago Aspas is again the biggest threat that we have. It's never been Real Madrid or Cristiano Ronaldo for me. For the last 5-6 years, it's always been Iago Aspas. He has had some amazing victories against us. And again, it was him last night that made the difference. And once he was off, Celta Vigo had basically no threat. They are a side that's been in the middle table. They are at the 16th place. But still, they have always been trouble for us. And at the 80th minute, we finally made a comeback. João Felix had an amazing pass, which started the entire thing. Then Cancelo did the run, made the assist, and finally scored the goal. It was definitely a great comeback, but the match had a lot of shortcomings, and we should definitely discuss on that.
Yeah, definitely. Police, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I agree that we were absolutely shit for around 80 minutes and then we turned the tables and we made the comeback. It's something which Madrid does 90% of the games, but seeing us doing the comeback, it's something very positive which we should take away. I agree that there is fatigue, the less intensity as well from our squad, which led to this. So yeah, it's okay. Comeback was great, but we should kill the game early and then just put the pressure on the opponent.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Just going back to Sanmay's point regarding Felix, to that Felix and Lewandowski connection, we've seen it all over again, like we have for the past couple of games. That's definitely good to see, because Lewandowski doesn't feel alone anymore. He has someone to at least link up with. But yeah, I think it was an overall great comeback victory, and like you mentioned, something we don't really do as often, unlike Madrid. But it's definitely good to see. I guess we can move on to player performances. Who do you think stood out the most during this game?
I think João Felix had the best game last night out of everyone. Definitely, Cancelo made the biggest impact at the end of the game, but he was horrible the entire match. He basically conceded the first 2 goals, and he had a lot of missed passes. And João Felix has been very consistent. His link-up plays with Ferran Torres and Lewandowski had been good, and it was he who made the first breakthrough. So yeah, I think João Felix is the guy to stand out. There's always Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen also had an amazing match. If it wasn't for Ter Stegen, we would probably be 4-0 down. I think João Felix is the main standout player of that game.
To be fair, João Felix had a decent game, but the MVP for me is Robert Lewandowski because if you see after Suarez left, we really didn't have that number 9 which and bury the chances which we get. It's not that easy to be so precise in front of the goal. So I think that he's really the man who can convert the chances which we are getting.
Under the radar and has been good for some games now is Romeu. He's been solid in that pivot position, making tackles. I think in the first half he had a couple of tackles that prevented what would have been probably a goal. He's been solid, and like you mentioned, Cancelo, obviously a goal and assist. For once, we have a proper right back that can attack and help out in the midfield, something that we missed a lot in a couple of seasons. But yeah, I think they were are definitely standout performers. Who do you think didn't perform as well or lacked in this team? I'll start with you, Sanmay.
I think it's definitely weird for me to say it, but Cancelo was not playing well that game, the entire first 80 minutes. But I think the biggest problem we had was on the left back. It was Marcos Alonso. I don't think he should be playing as a left back for us. I think he is decent as a center back. As a left back, it just completely kills our attack on the left, especially with Felix. He's not a fast player on the left side. He plays on the interior. And we need someone fast on the left side. I think Alonso basically killed the game for us on the left side. But he had a good game. You need to have attack on the wings. And when you don't have attack on the wings, you lead to counter attacks. And that's what happened.
I definitely agree with Alonso. Not sure about Cancelo. Alonso, I think it was kind of expected that he was start. Like Balde had played so many games, he needed a bit of a rest, so it was it was kind of a given. But I just it's Alonso. We kind of expected not the best performance from him. He hasn't had that many good games in a Barca shirt. But yeah, what about you, Police? Who do you think performed badly for us?
I will go with Marcus Alonso. He had a bad game. Every time he get the ball, I was just nervous that Celta can anytime do a counter attack, just get the ball and just keep moving. I definitely agree with this. He should not start as a left back for sure. He's decent as a centre back, but not as a left back. We still need a proper replacement. Not replacement, I think a competitor for Balde.
I think that competitor could be like we had a Barca B left back. I think Alex Valle, but he's out on loan right now. But I'm hearing like good things from him from Levante. Like he's been playing really good there. So maybe next year he could be that competition for Balde at least. For the time being, it's going to be Alonso because we really can't go out to the market and buy someone.
I think playing Cancelo as a left back while resting Balde and maybe playing Conde as a right back or even Sergio Roberto as a right back can be a better option than playing Marcus Alonso on the left. Marcus Alonso is not fast. Sergio Roberto is also a disaster, but he can do attacks at least. He has been playing as an offensive fullback for us.
Yeah, that could be another approach. I guess moving on. During the game, we did however, came across an injury in Frenkie de Jong. Definitely something that we didn't want to happen, but just occurred. So, how do you think his injury would affect our play style? Like, how would we have to shift, players or modify formations to continue playing the way we play?
I think Frenkie de Jong has had an amazing season with us. He has been playing really good, and it's definitely going to harm us. But Pedri is coming back, so it's not all bad at least. And we have Gundogan and Gavi and Romeo. Romeo has been also playing amazing. So for the moment, I think Romeo, Gundogan, and Gavi has to manage until Pedri comes back. But yes, losing Frenkie de Jong, especially with his form, is going to cost us, especially with the El Clasico coming up. I don't know how we will deal with it. He has been doing an amazing job for the last 4 or 5 games, and it's going to be difficult without him.
Yeah, I definitely think that he brought a lot of control in our midfield, and obviously that link between defense, midfield, and attack. He brought the ball forward and broke lines and got the ball into really dangerous areas for us to attack through. Police, what do you think?
I think it will be a big loss because after a long time we finally gel up with the formation. We were scoring goals. With the loss of Frankie, I think that we will revert to the four midfield formation because we need to win the balls and put the pressure on the opponent. Yeah. And apart from that, one thing which Frankie does really well is he keep the ball and maintain a fluid gameplay. And without him, like we all saw last season, how badly we struggled. We were shaky without Frankie.
So you think we should play Gavi on the left wing when you are talking about four midfield?
I think Gavi, yeah, like Gavi can play, or we know Xavi will, of course, put either Cancelo or Sergio Roberto, the right side.
Okay.
I just wanted to add something. What do you guys think of Fermin Lopez potentially getting the chance to play in the midfield now because we have one less midfielder?
I think he has been playing well. The few minutes we have seen of him, he's very forward. He doesn't shy away to take chances. He presses a lot, and I think if he gets his chance, he will do a good job. I won't say that he's better than Gavi or Pedri, but I think with chances he can do a good job, especially when he comes on at the 70 or 80 minutes. For the last 10 or 20 minutes, he can really put pressure on the opponents. I think he's a good player.
I guess moving completely 180 from Frenkie, we had an injured player coming back from injury in Araujo. So what do you guys think of him coming back into the lineup, and what do you expect out of
Yeah,
him
yeah,
now?
yeah. I want to ask you first. Do you think Araujo should start over Konde and Christensen? Because Christensen has been in amazing form. Like if you see the highlights, like most of our balls forward is pushed by Christensen from the back. It's not Konde, it's Christensen, and Konde has been amazing defensively. But so where does Araujo start? Because right back we have Cancelo right now. So he definitely doesn't start on the right back. We have Balde on the left, and the only player he can replace right now is either Konde or Christensen. So what do you think about that?
I think I think we kind of have to like play him as a center back. I think ideally I would like to rest Kunde and start Araujo only because Kunde has played I think almost every single minute for Barca so far, maybe minus a few couple, but I would definitely like to see him get rested because I definitely don't want another injury situation like Frenkie, who also before getting injured was one of our most played players. So I'd definitely like to see that. And obviously, on the topic of Christensen as well, I also would like him to get also arrested as well. I don't want him to get injured or anything either. And I think Inigo could be a good, it could be a good game for him to start for the Mallorca game.
But what about the big matches? Who do you think starts? Like in our best team?
In obviously in a big match, I think I would take Kunde only because of his ball distribution and he's been so consistent at least defensively, and he's also helped a lot offensively. Like he's had so many like through balls into the final third and breaking lines. So I think I would take Kunde for the time being just because of that consistency. But Araujo, I would say that um, he might get less time only because of how consistent Kunde has been. But I would like to see Araujo like being rotated with Kunde more often though.
In my opinion, Rao should not be risked so soon. I think he should not play at the moment. Like he can play 10 to 15 minutes like late in the match, but we should not risk him because big games are coming. And in in the Europe, you should not ever estimate any team. Anyone can shock you. So obviously, I like him to be rested very well. And apart from that, I think Inigo will do a good job as he's a left center back. We can really play more fluid than we are playing. So I think like he can help, to be honest.
No,
And that's
but
the experience.
what do you think about our best team? Who do you think should start is our best team? Like should Araujo start
Uh,
over Christensen or Konde? Or
mm,
do you prefer Inigo Martinez?
yeah, to be honest, like all three should start basically because with all three of them, I can be assured that everything goes all right, like last season, and we can play Cancelo and Balde as the fullbacks, so that will work.
Oh, so you want three at the back and two full backs.
Yeah,
I think for the moment, Kunde and Christensen are ahead of Araujo, especially because he has been a bit injury prone, and Kunde has basically cemented his spot. I don't think anyone can take Christensen's place. I think he has been our best ball distributor in the back line after PK. Uh, unless Christensen has a really bad luck or has a really bad spell of matches, I don't think anyone replaces him. It has to be Kunde that gets benched if Araujo starts. Or and in our best matches, I think Kunde and Christensen should start with Cancelo on the right back and Balde on the left. I think that's how we should go with it.
yeah, I agree as well.
I guess if that's all of the discussion for Celta, let's move on to the one for
No,
the
no, no.
next game against Mallorca.
I wanted to talk about something because
Oh,
last
okay.
match because against Celta Vigo we were struggling the entire match, right? And the thing is we saw a lot of changes made in the tactics during the entire time. Like it started out with four at the back, three midfield, and three strikers. When we considered a goal, Xavi actually made some very questionable decisions. He changed the entire formation with in the halftime, and then he changed again, and he brought on a lot of players and completely changed the shape of the game. And I like we have seen Xavi not take decisions and wait until 80 or 75 minutes to make substitutions, or we have seen him make drastic decisions. And this was another example of it. It worked out for us in the end, but it's definitely weird for a manager to make this kind of changes. And I just wanted to know your opinions on it. What do you think? Were the changes good? Were they bad? Or was Xavi struggling a bit?
I think I think he was a little slow with the substitutions, like you mentioned. He did take a really long time to get those substitutions in, and we didn't really see the impacts of those substitutions until like towards like the 80th minutes of the game. So I definitely agree with you on that. Something Xavi has to work on is maybe like incorporating those substitutions early on, so we can at least see some difference from the first half early on in the second half.
I mean, in the first half, Xavi did bring on. I think he subbed out Oriol Romeu and he subbed on Oriol Romeu and pushed Cancelo in the midfield, and it was Cancelo and Gavi playing as a pivot, I think, in the midfield, and three at the back. And then later, he even brought on Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, while Rafinha played in the interior and Laman on the right wing. And it was kind of like he changed the shape of the entire team like every 20 minutes. And for me, it was a bit weird because it seemed like he was struggling. He didn't know what to do. And what do you think about that, please?
Yeah, like I agree that he should make subs more quicker and more early. But the one that I like the most is Gavi. As soon as he came, that thrust of energy which he brought with him, it was crazy. And his pass to Cancelo, like how good can a 18-year-old will, you know, like I was screaming, literally that was so perfect and so decisive for us. I think that we really got a good depth, but Xavi should tries doing substitutions a little early. That was not the right time in the Celta match.
Um, is that all for the Celta match, or do we want to move on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can move on.
Okay. I guess we can move on to discussing how we should line up for the Mallorca game. Keep in mind that we do have a Sevilla game at home in just a couple of days. So how do you think Xavi should line up, and should he rotate players again? Given that we have that game against Sevilla, and then obviously the all important Champions League against Porto away next week. So how do you think we should line up, guys? Start with you, Sandman.
Let's start with someone else. I have something prepared. Wait a bit.
Okay, okay. Police, do you want to go ahead and how should we line
yeah.
up from? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so at like Ter Stegen should start obviously as a goalkeeper, and the right back should be Cancelo. Like we cannot miss out on Cancelo, of course, and the left back obviously Balde. He should definitely start, and I will start Inigo because Kunde needs some rest at the moment. I will not risk him, to be fair. And with Inigo, I would like to start Christensen as well. So the pairing of Christensen and Inigo at the centre back. And as a defensive midfielder, I would like to start Oriol Romeu. I think that he he's so important for interceptions. And moving on to the centre mid, I will start Gavi and Gundogan. And the front three should be João Felix, and the centre forward should be Ferran Torres because Lewandowski like played every game, and we should just be careful. seeing our injury problems recently, we cannot risk Leva, and we can just start him in the second half. And on the right, we can go with Rafinha or Yamal. I will prefer Rafinha because we should win this game earlier than usual. So yeah, that should be my lineup.
I think apart from like your back line, everything else for me is the same. I think I would go with Christensen and Inigo and Araujo. Sorry, Inigo and Araujo as my center back pairing instead of Christensen and Inigo. Um, Everything else seems fine with me. I do like the fact that you. I also agreed with the Ferrons playing as a center forward. I think Lewandowski definitely needs some needs to be rested for this game at least. Everything else looks good to me. Yeah, Romeo, Gavi, and Gundogan in my midfield. Yeah, I think with the reason I think with Gundogan, he might play more of like I don't want to say he'll play more of like Frenkie's role, but he's versatile enough to play as a controller and like control that midfield and distribute the ball and keep possession. I
Yeah,
think he might have slightly more conservative role in this game as opposed to like his normal like breaking in between like lines and making that final pass into the box.
yeah. I think that Xavi is using Gundogan as a box to box because we often saw that he's just cutting inside and just creating many chances for our players. And Gavi is, I like Gavi in the deep role, not on the left wing because that limit that limits him to be honest. And um I think Felix will do a better job as a left winger than Gavi.
Send me. What are your thoughts?
Uh, I actually agree with Harsh's backline. I think we should start with Araujo and Inigo and cancel on Balde on the back four. I also agree with Romeo, Gundogan, and Gavi. Uh, in the front line, I disagree with all of you. I think Lewandowski should start. It's probably his last year, and I don't think there is any point in benching him. Players like Lewandowski, they don't like getting benched. They always like to play and score goals. That's how they have always been. I don't like benching Lewandowski unless he is showing signs of fatigue or something like that in the ground. I think Lewandowski should start. And on the left, it's a small game. I think Lamin should start instead of Rafinha. Uh, and other than that, yeah. So Lamin,
I think I disagree with you on both Lewandowski and Lamine only because with Lamine I'm kind of worried that like this is gonna be I'm assuming it's gonna be a pretty physical game and
hmm,
bringing him on is not going to be the best idea, risking injury. And with Lewandowski, he's played apart from Kunde and Frenkie and Ter Stegen, he's probably up there with the most minutes played in this team. So I think it's really the perfect time to rest him, especially
I
since we have Sevilla at home in like a couple of days, and then a couple of days after that we have to go away to Porto. Like we need we need his quality in those games, not in this one.
I
Frankly
think
speaking.
I don't think we should bench Lewandowski unless it's a small match like in Real against in a Copa del Rey match or something like that, because he needs those goals. And players like him, players that are always like Lionel Messi, Lewandowski, and Xavi, they need those minutes. They need to play as much as they can. Especially this is his last year. Uh, he can only be benched if he's facing something. If the medical team knows about it, if they say he's fit, I think he should start. And there is no point in benching him. He should keep scoring goals as much as he can to stay on form. And I agree with you on the on Mallorca becoming a lot physical for Lamine, but I think Lamine needs a bit minutes because he has not started in the last few games. Rafinha has started, and I think Lamine needs a couple of minutes, and I that's why I think he should start tonight.
I think he'd be better off coming off the bench. In case we're not really connecting well up top, and we need some sort of something different up top. We can bring him on in like the second half or something. Just that other some other type of creativity he can bring in apart from like what Rafinha does. I guess moving on. I guess some players to watch out from Mallorca. Their top scorer, I believe, is Muriqi, and their top assister is an ex-Espanyol player, Sergi Darder, who we were linked with over the summer. We should definitely watch out for them and that combination at least. And like I mentioned, I think Mallorca will be kind of physical since it's a home game and they have the crowd, their fans with them. Should definitely play with physicality as well. What do you guys think? Start with you, Sandman.
Mallorca, I don't think they are going to be a lot of trouble unless we fail to score goals. That we have a problem scoring goals against low-lying teams, and Mallorca can. The biggest problem is drawing the match. I think I don't think they are going to face any problem for us in the at least in the attacking portion. I think we are going to be comfortable tonight. Yes, I think we are going to be comfortable tonight. I don't think we are going to have much issues.
What about you, police?
Definitely not an easy game. I think that they will be very compact and they will definitely play as a low block team against us because I saw the highlights against Girona and they started the formation like 4-5-1. So I'm definitely sure that if we are not quick to score, then it it will go too too long. Like we can also draw and we can also concede. Like I'm really sure that they will attack on counters. They will somehow find spaces because we will definitely play a very high line in this match, and we need to make sure that we kill this game in the first half, or else we will really suffer. To be fair, and the player to watch out for me is Sergi Darder. I think that he is really clinical against us, and he played with Espanyol, and also Muriqi. He's their like high, the leading goal scorer for them. So yeah.
I think, yeah, I definitely agree with you. With Sergi Darder, him being an ex-Espanyol player, I guess he will definitely want to get want to score against us, because we were their rivals at one point. And then with Muriqi, I think we got to be careful with crosses in the box because he's very good at heading the ball. So we got to make sure our center back pairing will have to make sure that we can clear the ball immediately. I guess we can move on to predictions. What do you guys think will be the score for this game?
First, the official lineup is out. Let's go over that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the official lineup. Harsh,
Okay, so it's seems like Ter Stegen, goal, backline, Balde, Inigo, Araujo, Cancelo, with a midfield trio of Gavi, Gundogan, and Romeu. And then up front is Felix, Ferran, and Rafinha. So I think I got that, or someone got it right on.
Yeah, I think you got it correct because Araujo and Inigo also starts in the back, and I said Lewandowski should start.
I'm kind of glad that Koundé is being rested. He has had so many games, and especially with Euro qualifiers as well coming up, he's definitely going to be playing those with France. So it's definitely good to see him being rested.
Yeah, also Christensen has been very good, and he has been playing some amazing balls from the back line, and having him rested is very good. But there is going to be one problem because Araujo and Martinez has never played together, so there might be a partnership issue, and it might be fatal to us tonight because they have never played together in an official match.
I guess another issue that could be kind of big is that front three. I'm not too confident, especially going into this game. Like Police mentioned that like they play like a really like defensive. They have like a very defensive setup, playing Ferran down the middle. And since they are going to be physical, it's probably not the best game for him to play down the middle. Considering if they're going to be physical, it's going to be hard to like attack narrowly. So they're going to have to force us to go out wide and spam crosses, which is something we don't want to be doing. Is spamming crosses into the box because they can probably quickly deal with that if they're playing like a 4-5-1 like last game against I think was it Granada. I think. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. But I'm kind of excited to see how that front three performs though.
Also, there is not much width with Rafinha and Felix. Both of them are kind of interiors. So I think Balde and Cancelo will have to provide width for our team.
I guess we can go to score predictions then. What do you guys think the score will be? Start with you, Police.
I think it will be a draw, 0-0.
You don't think we don't think there will be any goals at all?
Yeah, I don't think that there will be goals. Okay. But yeah, for the safer side, I think it will be 1-0.
Okay. And you, Senmei?
I think it's going to be 2-0, 2-0. I did predict it 3-0 and more in the Discord, but I think we are going to be at least scoring 2 goals tonight. I think it's going to be a comfortable win. I don't think we are going to see much of a challenge unless we are completely shut off from scoring goals. That's the biggest thing.
I think it will be like a 3-1 win, maybe 2-1. I'm a bit hesitant between those two. Only I know, and the reason why I do have us conceding is we haven't been that good defensively this season. Even against like weaker teams, we haven't been able to shut them out. So I think 3-1 is likely for me.
Okay, so 2-0, 0-0, and 3-1. Should we move on to some of the questions?
Yeah. I remember seeing a question. Someone asked if you had the option of only buying one of Cancelo or Felix, who would you buy? I would say for me, I would say Cancelo at the moment because he's like much more needed in our team as a right back. Especially the attacking threat he brings in on the right hand side is something that we've been missing for some time. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I also agree with Cancelo because after once Pedri come in, after the injury, I'm very curious to see where will Felix start because it will both of the players are they got similar attributes, and I think it will be very interesting that how it goes with Felix. For me, Cancelo, we should definitely buy him.
Yeah, same for me, but because it's financially viable, Felix is going to be at least 80 million and Cancel is like 20 or 25 million, depending on how we talk with Man City. So 25 million for Cancelo is, I think, is just nothing. You should definitely go for him. Felix is an afterthought. If we have the money, if we can spend for it, we should definitely go for Felix also. But yeah, Cancelo it is. Another question it's not of a question, but what do you think about Oriol Romeu, about his season? Because he has been good. He has been good defensively and attacking wise. He was also great last game, but he was not doing much attacking wise. So he was subbed off. But still, he was really great. He probably saved 1 or 2 goals against us. And what do you think about Oriol Romeu and his season?
I think he's been, kind of solid. Nothing too special, but he just did his business. He did what he was told to do, break attacks, and obviously prevent goals from going in. He's definitely been one of the better performers, I would say, in our team. He's been consistent as well. That's another key thing. Like that's something we always need in a player is consistency, and he's been doing that all throughout the season so far. So I think he's been really good for us at least.
Police.
I will say that he's good and like not too special about him, but yeah, he's really doing his job well. And some of the interceptions which he made, like they were important for us. Like, of course, like he's not a player which can create many chances, but he's the guy who knows our team through and through, as he's from La Masia, and like coming back after so many years, like he he gelled up quite quick, which is not easy in a team like Barca. So I give him that. He's a decent player.
Yeah, and he has been creating chances also. Like he has been playing the ball forward a lot. I think he has been the most ideal player that we could have purchased for the central defending midfielder, because he came for like nothing and he has been doing an amazing job. Every other player we had our eye on, we are definitely would have cost us a lot, whether it be Kimmich, Subimendi, or Amrabat. I think he's definitely doing a much better job than Amrabat would have done for us. And I think, yeah, I think he's doing a good job.
Someone asked, do you think Barca dodged a bullet with Arda Guler? He's injured again today. What do you guys think?
I don't think we dodged a bullet or something. We were not going to pay him a lot anyway, and I think he basically ruined his career by joining Real Madrid. Real Madrid are not good with young players. Everyone knows that. You have to be very special to be, especially if you are international, from a country that's not known for their football. You have to be very good to be a part of their team. And I think he if he would have gone to AC Milan instead of Real Madrid or Barcelona, he would have a career today. And yeah, I don't think we dodged a bullet or anything. I think he ruined his own career.
I think it's too early to say he ruined his career. He's still 18. Like, I mean, he could always move away from Madrid and go somewhere else and start fresh. But I mean, he hasn't really played in a Madrid jersey yet, so it's too soon to say if we dodged a bullet or not.
To
I
be
mean,
fair, like, I won't say that we dodged a bullet, but I think I respect Arda's decision because at Barca, he knows that he ain't starting anytime soon above Pedri and Gavi because both of them are really fantastic and they are very similar as well. And Arda being unproven at the biggest stage, and Pedri and Gavi already put the mark on the international football as well as at the club level. I think yeah, he made a right decision because you cannot say no to Real Madrid to be fair because who knows that when he start clicking. But I just feel really sad for that boy because as soon as he got into the team, he's injured, and yeah, it's always sad to see a player injured and not playing. So yeah, well, not for Real Madrid, of course, but it's like that. I don't have any hatred towards them. To be fair.
talking about injuries, we missed one of our major players getting injured, and that is Vitor Roque. Vitor Roque also had an injury uh, last game, and he might be out for at least 3 or 4 months, which is a massive blow to us because he would be joining us this January. So, what do you think about that?
I think it was definitely a shock for all of us Barca fans that when we found out that he got injured. I believe he was out for 3 months, so he would be fit by the time January comes around. So that's at least good to hear. But from the news and from what his injury was reported, it seemed like people were recommending him to undergo surgery, but he chose not to. And I really hope that he would have undergone the surgery if that was what was being recommended, because we've seen players that have, like Umtiti and Fati, who never really underwent surgery when they were required to, and obviously they came back not performing to their best. So I'm just hoping that it's not the same case with Vitor Roque.
To be fair, yeah, he should have gone with the surgery, to be honest, because I think that he's risking himself. And after seeing Ansel and MTT, like the injury records, I think he should have gone with the surgery. I don't know what our medical team advised him, but if it's up to me, I advise him to go with the surgery. Guys,
Yeah.
I have one question as well. So we were linked to Florian Wirtz today, and like it's heavily speculated that if Wirtz arrived, we'll sell Felix. So like won't sell, like we haven't bought him. So like we have two options, either to buy Felix or Wirtz. So what do you guys think? Who should we go?
Um, I think is if what the reports were saying were true, I don't think Wirtz would come for cheap though. Like Leverkusen would demand like around the same price tag as what Felix would go for at the moment. Personally speaking, I haven't watched too much of Wirtz. From the looks of it, he seems to be like a really promising young player as well. And I don't know, are they in the specific like the same position? Isn't he more of a cam and not a winger?
Yeah, he's a cam.
Yeah, so that was just one other thing I was wondering. Like, do we need another like attacking midfielder or another midfielder when realistically we need someone that can play out wide, so like a proper left winger?
Okay. And to be honest, we know Bernardo Silva got a 50 million price tag. I think that we can cash on him if it's not for Felix, of course.
I think Bernardo Silva's boat has sailed a long time ago. If we got him this season, I think that would have been great. But
Mhm.
in the future, spending a lot for him doesn't make sense because we have a good team, and Bernardo Silva is still quality, but he won't have give us many years. I think we should invest on future. And if Felix is performing really well right now, he's dealing with the team, he's connecting well. I don't see why we should go for someone else if we are spending a lot. If we are spending a lot, we should go for Felix instead.
Yeah, I agree, but I still think that it's too early for Felix. I'm confident with Cancelo, but not with Felix at the moment. But let's see how the season goes.
So, do we have anything else to cover?
I think that's all for today.
Okay, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And hopefully, you are enjoying the show and the short videos we are sharing with you.
And
Uh,
guys, don't forget to comment RIP in the chat for Imam. He's a
yeah,
big loss.
we are we are going to hold a funeral for Imam in a couple of days. Please join that. Imam has personally messaged me before dying and telling me that we should hold a funeral for him. Please spam RIP Imam in the comment section. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Goodbye.